Well, well. It's never pleasant to find out that somebody that you trust and somebody that you've relied on for many a year has been betraying you. Imagine being betrayed by your best friend and your lover at the same time. Well, that's how I felt when I realized that my brain was working against me. Yes, fellow pattern interrupter, I've realized that my brain has been working against me for many a year. It's been engaging in something that we call paradoxical intentionality. My brain has been so wrapped up in maintaining me, keeping me wrapped in cotton wool, keeping me in survival mode, that it has created situations, circumstances, even perceptions about reality which are not, in fact, true. It's quite an awakening to realize that the one person in your life that you feel should have been helping you all this time has, in fact, been putting sabotaging, unreal evidence, all sorts of hurdles in your way. Frankly, I feel a little bit betrayed. And the worst part of it is that it was me that taught my brain to betray me. You see, all those times that I failed to keep appointments or didn't follow through on my word or made a promise knowing that I wasn't going to follow through, all those times that I second guessed myself or told myself I'll do it later, knowing deep down that I never would. What I was doing was I was teaching my brain, my subconscious, and my neurology to simply accept second best. I was encouraging my brain to allow me to become the kind of guy that can be betrayed by their best friend and their partner. Now, does this sound familiar to you? Because if it does, I'd like to open a dialogue with you and offer you a 5-day challenge to try and nail this sucker. I'll drop a link below. I'm not going to labor it today. That's not the purpose of this daily drop. The purpose of this daily drop is to point out that sometimes we can be engaged in plain sailing, believing that the sky is blue, that the sea is calm, and that we're making steady progress. When in fact, when we look down at the compass we're using, it has been sabotaged and it's sending us in the wrong direction. Sure, it's sending us in the wrong direction in a safe manner, but that's the power of paradoxical intentionality and survival mode, isn't it? The paradox is that survival mode is going to create situations for you which keep you in some kind of sense of safety. Unfortunately, the sense of safety tends to be an extended zone of discomfort because the payment that your brain demands for that so-called sense of safety is constant anxiety, a constant fear of being caught out, second-guessed, or challenged. What happens is the brain tries to create an environment in which you are never challenged. And the ways that you do that are many. They include accepting second best or attracting people who are going to keep you the average of their outcomes, i.e. low. Your brain will encourage you to make promises you can't keep because deep down you enjoy the anxiety and the stress that comes with being in a losing position. What's happened is your brain has become a very expert colleague, co-conspirator, in fact, keeping you just operating below optimum so that there's no danger that you're going to stick your head over the top of the parapet and get it shot off. And here's the rub. There's nothing down there waiting to shoot your head off. The enemies, the conflicts, the hazards, the dangers, they've all been created by your brain. So you keep your head down, and of course, because you keep your head down, you never take the opportunities provided to you to put your head over and look at the landscape. Because if you did, you'd find that the landscape is actually empty of all of those threats that your brain has told you are out there. This is a little bit like waking up one day and realizing that the world is not flat. Philosopher Wittgenstein, when one of his students ridiculed people for believing the world was flat, responded with, well, how would it look any different if it weren't? The reason we know that the Earth is a globe is because of science, even photographic evidence. But if we were to believe the evidence of our own senses and look out the window, largely the world looks flat. So what's happened is that your brain has become a bit of a, a glad-hander, a confidence trickster, really. Your brain has been a little bit like AI. Every time you argue with it, it tells you exactly what you want to hear. It doesn't open you up to challenges and conflicts and social friction. It tries to keep you wrapped in cotton wool. And by so doing, it's actually betraying you. It's limiting your opportunities for growth. So if you feel that your brain has been betraying you, and you feel that you're locked in to a losing streak, the good news is that the power of your brain is such that it's convinced you that reality is not so, or what is not so is reality. And because the powerful brain can teach itself disruptive patterns, logically, a powerful brain can learn better patterns. So the more locked in you feel you are, the more effective of a brain you have. However, you need to reset the brain and you need to teach it new tricks, new ideas, new concepts. And then you need to rinse and repeat the new ideas and new concepts until your brain actually gets the memo. So, bottom line, if you wake up tomorrow and feel that your brain has betrayed you or is betraying you, it's time for you to challenge that betrayal. It's time for you to raise the standard of expectations and raise the standard of what you are prepared to accept. Because really, the sum total of our lives is that which we are prepared to accept, is it not? So here endeth today's daily drop. Remember, whatever it is that you dare to do or dream, you can begin it now.